Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 11:39 p.m. on this very muggy, rainy Thursday evening. It's currently 70 degrees outside, and I just left my mother-in-law's. We went over there tonight. It was Alex and myself and my mother-in-law and my brother and sister-in-law and my nephews. And we went over there tonight and had dinner, like a really nice family dinner. My mother-in-law made arepas, and oh my God, I had like 3 of them. I had one that had butter, and she made beans for me, an egg. So I had one that had like butter and beans in it. Well, half of it had beans, and the other half I put cheese and egg in it. And then I had another one that was just like butter, avocado. They look like little pancakes, but they don't taste like pancakes. They're not like sweet. They taste more like, kind of like cornbread, but they're round like a pancake, like a thick pancake. And you split it, well, people do them different ways. Alex like cuts his in half and then makes like little pita pockets out of them, kind of. And that's what I do. Although my first one, I split like almost all in half, and then people like put stuff on top of it, and then like put the other half on top of it like a sandwich. You can do it. But usually you cut them open and you put stuff inside of it. And then I had one that had like butter, avocado, cheese. It had everything on it. And they were delicious. And then we just kind of sat around and talked forever. We got over there about, I got there about 8:45. Alex got there at 8:30. And my brother and sister-in-law had just gotten there right before I did. So we were there for about 3 hours. We just kind of sat around and talked. The kids were watching some cartoon, Peabody, Mr. Peabody or something. I don't know. They were trying to explain it to me. And then Carlitos was telling us about his baseball practice that my brother-in-law is coaching, his baseball team. And then, yeah, we just sat around and talked and stuff, and it was fun. It was really nice. The little birthday deal at the end, so Alex could blow out the candle and sang to him, and it was really nice. We were over there for Alex's birthday, since we were out of town for his birthday. And, yeah, I think that's about it. My day was good today, but I was so tired all day today. I went to the casino last night and met my friend Valerie, but I didn't end up staying like super late. I mean, I've gone before and stayed like really, really late. I was home pretty early last night, and listened to my audiobook a little bit, but I really wanted to listen to music last night. So yeah, I did that. Did not leave a winner, but I had a good time anyway. And then, so today I got up, I slept into like noon, and got up and was getting stuff done around the house, and I was like I was dragging. I was so tired. And so I finally came upstairs, and I was like taking the sheets off the bed to wash like the bedding, the linens, and Boo and Tucker jumped up on the bed. So I was like, I think I could just lay my head down for another like 20 minutes to a half an hour. And so I laid there for a couple minutes, and then I was like, I should probably set my alarm because I'll fall asleep and then it'll be like time for me to go to my mother-in-law's. So I set my alarm for like a half an hour, and then I kept on snoozing it. I had such a wonderful nap, and little Boo Radley and Tucker were so sweet. So yeah, then I got up and I made a drama video. I wanted to make a couple other videos, but I just didn't have time at that point. I got up and I made a drama video, and I fed the dogs, and I did some other stuff around the house, and then I took a shower and got ready. And I did a bunch of laundry too. My laundry that I have from the trip to Miami, I like had washed all of that. And so I put it in the dryer, and then I folded all of that and washed the sheets and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I took a shower and got ready to go over to my mother-in-law's house, and that was it. That was pretty much my day. And when I get done vlogging tonight, I'm going to listen to Dexter in the Dark. I've got to finish it like in the next day or two because I really want to finish the Mexican Gothic book. If I finish Dexter in the Dark by tomorrow, then I'll have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to read Mexican Gothic. That gives me enough time. But that puts me behind on... I wanted to at least be to 50 by the end of June, 50 books for the year. And I think that I'll be at 47, which isn't far behind, but it makes me kind of sad because at the beginning of the year, I was like reading so many books a month, and I just really slowed down. I mean, I don't even know what happened. I started listening to books slower on Audible, and two, it is really hot in here. And, come on, air. And two, I was just like listening to a lot of music and stuff. I don't know who's texting me, but I have a feeling it's Michael from Pathology, because I was texting him earlier about now that we're both back. I was asking him about his trip and stuff, but I was saying that now that we're both back, we need to figure out a time to go out to dinner and vlog again and stuff like that. Oh, man. So, yeah, I took, like, the perfect nap. Oh, it rained while I was napping, and it was so nice. And usually Little Boo Radley gets so scared of the thunderstorms, but he didn't get scared today. He just slept on Alex's pillow. It was so sweet. And, oh, I checked. Did I tell you guys about the bird story yet? So, when we got home, did we get home Tuesday? What is today? Thursday? When we got home Tuesday night, I was standing on the front porch, and I could just make out Mrs. Birdie's head and beak. She was, like, sitting up, like, in the nest. My fern is, like, almost dead, by the way, but I guess, I mean, I haven't watered it since she built the nest, and I'm not going to. I was talking to my neighbor about it today. He was like, don't you think that you could probably water around it? And I said, I just don't even want to risk it. So I'll probably just try to revive that fern when she finally leaves, and if I can't revive it, then I'll just buy a new fern or whatever. But now it's just like this beautiful fern that I had hanging there on my front porch has now, like, it's just like this dead, limp fern hanging up there. I mean, because when people drive by, they don't know that there's a bird's nest in there, right? So, I don't know what happened, but she only has 2 babies up there. And she had like 6 eggs. I don't know if maybe like all the eggs didn't hatch or what happened. But I looked, and the babies are bigger than before when we left. But they're still really small. And, like, they're not ready to fly anytime. I don't know how long it takes, but, I mean, I can't believe it'll be another month, you know? But they're still little small babies, so I don't know how long it's gonna be. I have no idea. They're so sweet, though. And then it rained so bad that, like, on my back, and it knocked over my fern on the back patio, that, like, half of my ferns are, like, almost dead on my back patio. And then my Gerber daisies are, like, so soaked from the rain that they're dead. And then the hydrangea is doing really well. And the other 2 plants that I bought for the back patio, they're doing really well. I don't know if those other plants back there, if the ferns and stuff, you know, I kind of knew when I bought these ferns from Walmart, like, they were these ginormous ferns, and they didn't look real healthy when I bought them. They didn't look like they were potted in really good soil, and, but I was excited because they were so huge, right? And, they're not doing well at all. like, even having been watered a lot and whatever, they're just, like, not doing well at all. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to, like, keep them alive, obviously, but if I can't, I might buy some more plants for on the back patio. We really haven't spent that much time out there yet because, I mean, we were gone this past weekend, and then, we just really haven't. I've been spending a lot of time on the front porch. Plus, if there's any chance of rain, which in Indiana, like, it's almost like every day there's a chance for rain in the summer, it's kind of a downer to take, like, all of the cushions and put them out and then bring all the cushions back in. It's kind of just like this big downer, you know? It's like, oh, I gotta take all the cushions out and put them on the couch. I mean, it takes 2 seconds, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, instead of just rolling out there, you know? If we had it covered, it would be a different story, but... So, yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight. That's why I'm vlogging early now, so that when I'm done, I'm gonna listen to, like, if I can even make it, I'm gonna listen to like an hour of Dexter, and then I'm going to go to sleep. So I'll probably be in bed by, like, no later than 2 o'clock. And then get up at like 10 and have gotten like an 8 hours of sleep. Oh man. Earlier today, after I took my nap, I woke up. Do you ever do this? Like, my nap was very relaxing, but I didn't feel any more rested after I took my nap, really. I mean, a little bit, but I still was so tired. And I was like, okay, tonight I'm gonna drive around and I'm gonna finish Dexter. Mind you, I'm like 2 hours into this 11-hour book, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna drive around and I'm gonna finish Dexter and I'm gonna listen to it tonight, and then tomorrow I can start Mexican Gothic, and I'm gonna get all of my, I'm gonna read a book a day between now and the end of the month so that I hit 50 books. I was like, all like inspired to do that. And now I'm like, there's no way I can drive around for like 3 hours and listen to an audiobook. Which I honestly don't even know how long I have left to listen to it. These are easier for me to listen to fast. So I'm listening to them on 2.5 speed. Oh man. Which is easier for me. Okay, I'm gonna pull into this little, these are like parking spaces. I wanna look at my book really quick. I wanna see how much longer I have. You guys, I have been using my reading glasses so much that I really can't see anything without my reading glasses anymore. It was Michael. He's such a sweet guy. Okay. It's not telling me how long I have. Okay. I'm at... a lot of cars in this area. So I have read... let's see. I've only listened to an hour and a half. I thought it was 2 hours. So I've got 9 hours left. I do this math constantly trying to figure out how much I have to listen to. So I have like just a little over 3.5 hours to listen to this book. Well, that's not happening tonight. I know it's so funny when, like, people, some readers are like this, but it's mostly people that don't, like, really read a lot. They'll be like, I don't understand why you have this goal of hitting, like, so many books a year, right? And other than it just being, like, wanting to beat your personal best, you know, or setting a goal for yourself, it's like people are like, why would you just not enjoy reading a book and just enjoy everything that goes along with it? Why are you trying to, you know, like, see how many books you can read in a year? It's kind of like running or working out or anything else that you would do, you know, that it's like, I think for us that are readers that do use Goodreads and set goals and stuff for ourselves, it's like, because honest to God, before Goodreads, like, I never really set a goal. Like, I mean, maybe in the summer, if I did some summer reading program when I was really little or something, but I never set a goal, like, I'm gonna read 100 books this year. But now that I'm on Goodreads, I always do the reading challenge every year. But really what it is about for me is, there are so many books and so many stories and characters that I want to be introduced to, that the more books that I read in a year, the more worlds I'm introduced to, the more characters I've met and fallen in love with. You know, I was just thinking about this, was it last night, about Homecoming that I just read, that Cynthia Voigt book about Dicey and her brothers and her brothers and sister. And you know, I really liked that book. I really, really enjoyed that book. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll read the rest of the series. And now I have like 5 ongoing series that I'm reading. And for me, it's about, I don't know, just falling in love with these people and the storylines to where you want to continue to read about them. Even if it's not a series, you know, maybe it's a standalone or whatever that you get excited about reading. But it's like watching movies or binge watching something on Netflix. You know, it's like the more worlds and people and things you're introduced to, the more fun it is. It's like, you know, you get to read this and then read that, and they're completely different books, you know. And I don't know, there's just something about it that, you know, I think about the fact that, like, I have all these books on my bookshelf, right? And all these graphic novels, because I've been reading a lot of graphic novels lately. And it's like, and audiobooks, I mean, I have purchased so many, I have over 200 audiobooks that I've purchased that I haven't read. And I think about it, and it's like, you know, the years before where I read 30 or 40 books in a year, and then last year I read 100, that was like 60 more worlds and books that I was introduced to that I never would have read in that year, maybe never, had I not set myself a goal that I was trying to reach of 100 books. And 100 is like nothing. There's people out there that are reading 200 and 300 books a year. There's a lot of like booktubers and bookstagrammers and things like that that are reading a lot of those books. So, yeah. I just love reading so much. I love watching TV series too. I do better when I'm on vacation watching TV series though, and usually in the summer, and I haven't really that much here, but I want to finish Black Summer, and I want to get more into, well, I don't want to finish Black Summer, I want to continue to watch Black Summer and Manifest and Them. Those are my 3 series that I'm watching right now. Black Summer, which is about the zombies, Manifest, which is about the people that disappear on the plane, and Them, which I'm 3 episodes into 10 episodes on that. And then when I finish those, I'll figure out something else to read or to watch. But between that and my books and stuff, I love just stories, you know? Stories. Telling Carlito some story about when I was a kid tonight. I can't remember what it was. I said something to him. Something he said to his mom. And I said, when I was Well, I was telling Liliana, because she's talking about how, like, she's trying to find all this stuff to keep the kids entertained this summer. And I was telling her that I have this book in the basement somewhere. Yes, I know, in the basement. That my mom had, and it was like crafts that you can do for like kids. It's like called something like free stuff to do with kids or something like that. But anyway, it was stuff like you take like ice cube trays, and then you put like little like things in the ice cube trays so that when the ice freezes, and then you put it in the bathtub, like it what do you call it? Like then they can like find the pennies or whatever they are, you know. But they should be old enough that they're not going to choke on a penny, you know, and like swallow it. They just like line them up and whatever. That's what I used to do. And then I was telling her that the other thing that my mom used to do was, you can also do that with a swimming pool, by the way, and then they can dive for the pennies. The other thing that my mom used to do was she would make different colored ice cubes with food coloring, and then at bath time, you just throw the ice cubes in the bathtub, and then it's like real fun for the kid to play with these food coloring ice cubes that are like red, blue, yellow, you know, green, purple. If you make that, you can mix them up, whatever, you know. And my mom used to use like pots and pans in the bathtub too. Like I like have this spaghetti colander that I used to love to like watch the water drip out of it. And, I mean, this was when I was like a really little kid, but anything to, you know, keep the kids entertained. She's got them involved in all. She was telling us about all these camps and stuff that they're doing this summer. She's got them enrolled in all of this kind of stuff. She's so good at finding that stuff. I don't even know where. I said, where do you find all this stuff? She's like, I just talked to other moms, and then they're both involved in sports. So there's that. But it was interesting because she said today Carlitos had practice at like I don't know, like 12 and 2. I didn't really understand it. He like he had 2 different practices. I think one was football and one was baseball or something like that. But I said, they have practices in the middle of the day? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, what about the parents that have to work that can't get their kids there in the middle of the day? And she was like, exactly. And Carlos was like, that's why I only go to the evening game or evening practices for coaching, because I mean, I can't be there during the middle of the day because I'm working, you know. I thought that was interesting that they would have these practices for 8-year-old kids in the middle of the day. Like, wouldn't you just assume that their parents are probably working? I would assume that. I don't know. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. My Poke Bowl that I got yesterday, I was not super impressed with that Poke Bowl. I think it may have needed to have some more dressing on it or something. I don't even really know how to explain it. It just kind of tasted like salad with rice in it. It didn't really have much of a taste to it at all. I was rather disappointed. And I only ate one of them, and I didn't even finish it. But I did finish, while I was eating it, RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. And I watched to see, because it was the final episode. And this is what I have to say about it without ruining it for anybody. My favorite did not win, but I knew she wasn't going to. But my favorite did make it into the final 4. Which I don't want to say who my favorite is, because then people will know that she didn't win. But I do think that the one that won, like, really deserved to win. Like, especially in the last challenge, which is like a singing and a dancing, and they put on a show challenge. Like, I really felt like she deserved to win. like almost kind of heads and tails above everybody else. I was kind of blown away how good she was. So I finished that yesterday. And RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars started on Peacock TV, which I think I talked about this on here. I went in there and I tried to like get a subscription to it, and I'm so confused how it works. Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to get a subscription to it was because, first of all the shows they have on there to stream, they're streamable other places, so it's not like they're anything new. But now, which I think is kind of funny, you know, it's like, I can remember all these people when and we still have cable. We have every cable channel in the world. But people were like, and Alex would get rid of it tomorrow if I wanted to, but I like having cable. And I look at the different movies on demand and stuff. And I know people are like, well, you could find those on Netflix. I know that, but I like having cable. I just like having it. It's like my one old school thing that I'm holding on to. Do I have any coffee left in here? No. I'm thirsty. I stopped and got a Dr. Pepper or Fountain Pop on the way to my mother-in-law's house, and I drank the whole thing while I was there. But anyway, the reason why I originally looked into that Peacock station was because they are doing a show over there called, I think it's called Langdon, like Robert Langdon from the Dan Brown books. And the series is going to be on Peacock. So, the series is going to be on Peacock. So, I was a Peacock. Peacock. So, I was like, okay, I'll download this or whatever. This is what I was going to say is funny. Is that all of these people that back in the day, they'd be like, you still have cable? And I'm like, I know, like it's really expensive and whatever, right? I mean, but ours is pretty cheap now because it's still expensive, but it's cheap in comparison because we get our internet through there and stuff. And they're like, oh, we don't have any cable television anymore. I'm like, you don't? Oh no, we use all streaming apps. And I'm like, okay. And now it's like, okay, so to have the streaming apps, to have the Amazon, you know, the Hulu, the Netflix, the what else, Disney Plus, and now Peacock, because you have to pay for a subscription to get the shows. Did you know that? Like, it's not a free streaming service. I went on there and looked. To have all of these streaming services now, HBO Max, whatever else, you know, you pay the same amount of money that you pay for cable back in the day. So now we're getting screwed, right? Because it's like, well, I mean, not most people don't just have. I mean, I know some people just have like Netflix or whatever. Karen, that is in the True Crime Book Club that watches, she doesn't even have a TV, I don't think. I can't remember if she doesn't have a TV or she doesn't watch TV. She doesn't watch TV. I know that for a fact because we've talked about that. But it's like, I find there's like some peace in that. I don't know. Like, I really do think like there's something to me about feeling, I don't mean disconnected, like I don't feel connected to other people or to the world. I mean disconnected as like a choice. Like, I want to be disconnected, not like a survivalist, but like living out in the middle of nowhere kind of thing, you know, with just your books and your dogs. And like, I think I could be very happy that way. I really do. Like, with a little garden, and I really do think that I could be happy like that. There's something to be said for that. I used to, and I still do from time to time, put on like a scary movie in the background when I'm uploading videos and stuff. But the majority of the day, I don't have TV on. I don't have anything on. And it's interesting because like I know people find this hard to believe, but like I rarely get on social media. I think I just said something about this on here the other day. Like, I'm just not on social media a lot throughout the day. You know, I'll like watch a video if I have to because I'm going to do commentary on it. I might look and see what's going on Twitter. But like, I don't really find a lot of drama like on Instagram, you know, so it's like basically that. And then like Facebook, I go in like every couple days and just check to see like what my notifications are. But other than that, I could really care less about Facebook, you know. And since I have, like, in the last couple years, stayed off of... It stopped. In the last couple years, since I've learned to stay off social media, you know, compared to how I used to spend my life, and that was actually a big conversation in therapy, that my therapist was like, well, you know, there was a lot of toxicity that was coming from Twitter specifically, and my counselor that we were going to for marriage counseling, he said, you know, do you have to get on there every day, like, to make YouTube videos? And I was like, I need to check on there and see what's going on, but, like, I don't. He was like, but how often are you getting on now? And I was like, oh, like every half an hour to an hour. He was like, you're getting on Twitter every half an hour to an hour. I was like, well, stuff is happening all the time and blah, blah, blah. And this was the other thing. I was like, if something drama-wise happened, like, let's say if it happened at 10 o'clock at night, I would say to Alex, okay, I'm going to film this video really quick. Do you mind, like, if I just take 20 minutes to go film it? Like, if the drama happened, I filmed it. And I don't do that anymore. Like, I'm like, it can wait till tomorrow. Nobody's dying that much to see a drama video about this tonight. And sure, like, it doesn't, like, with the drama stuff, I don't get the views that I got before, because, like, when you're posting a video right after something has happened, then sure, you're gonna get a lot more views off of that. But I am just like, I'm not gonna just jump every time something happens. And so I remember my counselor was like, because it really was affecting, like, it was really negative. It was taking a toll on me. The Twitter and the social media, everything, Facebook especially was, I mean, everything was just taking a toll on me with the social media. And it was just just a lot of negativity. And he said, you know, do you think that you could just go on there twice a day and, you know, say, hey, how's everybody doing today, or whatever, just to let people know that you're alive and you're doing okay? And he was like, and, you know, he goes, go in there and like some people's posts and respond to some people and, you know, use that opportunity to make other people happy. And he said, and then go in there and look to see what's going on, and several hours later, look to see again, and let that be it. And then you don't have to be on social media that much. And, you know, when I first started it, it was really hard. It was really, really hard, like, staying off of social media. But, like, that's totally how I am today. Like, I get up, and after I've done my prayers and meditations and everything else, I usually, you know, like, and after I've taken, like, an hour to myself and asked myself, okay, are you ready to start your day? Only then do I get on Twitter and put out Happy Thursday or Happy Wednesday or whatever, you know, or I've kind of recently started putting things out there about drama, like, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that, and whatever. But what I've really found is that the people that like to hear what I have to say anyway, they don't really care about that. Like, they'd rather send me a picture of their dog, or, you know, them cozied up in bed watching one of my videos, or tell me what they made for dinner, than they really care about the drama. And that's just the God's honest truth, you know, which is, I love that. I absolutely love that. That means a lot to me, you know. So I don't know. I just think, like, how did I get talking about this? Living not really living off the grid like a survivalist, but just living out in the middle of nowhere. Having no TV, just reading books. Yeah. Do you know what I think would be great? Because I do live on the internet to some degree with making videos on YouTube, and I like that. I love that part of it. You know, I don't feel like there's a lot of negativity that goes along with that. I just really love it. I love posting videos, and I love, especially like my new Peter Does Stuff channel, I love coming up with ideas for that. Even though they may seem lame to everybody else, I like have a good time with it, you know? And each one of my videos for me serves like a different purpose. Like, the vlog, of course, is so cathartic, and it's really my way to connect with you guys. And I just, because I think it's like a special group that watches just these vlogs. I mean, not everybody watches my vlogs, you know, and it's consistently the same people. And then I think it's the same with my Peterisms channel and my Peter Does Stuff channel. I think it's kind of the same group. And then my drama channel, I just love to have an opinion about stuff and like just formulate my thinking or commentary or opinion about people. I like to make people laugh. I like to let people have a voice in what they think, in the comment sections about what's going on. Because I think that there's a lot of interesting discussions to be had about the things that we see, with all of this. And then my booktube channel is obviously for booktube, for talking about reading books. And then my review channel is for reviewing stuff. Oh my God, I have such a blast on there, So it's like each one of those serves like a certain need for me. But I do think like if I had someplace that like, I don't know, it was like a couple months ago, like maybe 2 months ago, somebody commented on my vlog and they said, you could take Sundays off and not post videos on Sundays. And, cause I would like go to brunch, with Alex or whatever, and then we come home and spend some time together, and then I film some videos and put them up. And it just works really well for us, cause he knows I like to do that. And then he usually like watches some shows on Sunday, and that's like his time to relax while I'm making videos. He just sits here and watches some shows. But you know what? Like I started taking a couple like Sundays off in May, and just like I knew when I got up that I wasn't gonna film any videos for that day. It's hard for me to do that because I love making videos so much, but at the same time, like when I'm prepared that I know that's what I'm gonna do, it really does feel like kind of like a break in my schedule. It's kind of like a moment to refresh myself and get rejuvenated. Like for example, on Monday, was it Monday? Tuesday that we flew back. Like I knew I wasn't filming any videos that day because I hadn't pre-filmed any videos, and we were flying and we were gonna be at the pool. There was no place for me to do it. So I knew that I wasn't posting any videos that day. And to just kind of like be with my husband that day was really refreshing, And then when I came back on Wednesday, I was like ready to make videos. I was like, I miss this, I miss this bad. I don't know how I got here from talking about books, but I did somehow. Anyway, y'all know I love to read. It's not like how do you turn this thing up? Alex said I was like, I miss being in Florida. He goes, well, it's pouring there today anyway. I said, how do you know? And he had looked at Susie, who we met there, the fitness Instagrammer. He was like looking at her Instagram stories. And so I went and I looked at her Instagram stories because he was like, oh, she's postponing her release for a day because the weather is so bad there. And yeah, the weather was like really bad today. It was like raining and storming all day until like late afternoon. Did you guys hear about the building that collapsed in Miami? Oh my God, how scary and sad is that? And I woke up from like on Twitter on like all of these people today. Like once I finally sat down to look at Twitter, all these people were like, are you okay? Are you okay? Please let us know that you're okay, which was really nice that people were checking in with me. But I was like, oh my God, like this is so scary what happened. There's tons of people that are still missing that were in the building and stuff. Wow. And then I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but this was when, I think this might have happened, like, when was I reading about it? I feel like I was reading about it at breakfast the first day that we were there. But the Fort Lauderdale, I think it was the weekend before maybe, I don't know when it was, but the Fort Lauderdale Pride Parade, someone drove a pickup truck through the oncoming parade. Like, can you imagine how cruel that person would have to be? Like, and they were saying that they didn't know at that time if it was intentional or not. Like, you drive into a parade, it's probably intentional, don't you think? It's interesting because I think on one hand, you know, it's like, what kind of person, like, is really driven to such, like, cruelty and nastiness and negativity? Like, what had to have happened to somebody that makes them drive their pickup truck into a parade? Like, no matter what your differences are and what you believe and whatever, okay, like, did nobody teach you that to drive your car into another human being is not appropriate. It's not the right thing to do. It's not nice, you know? And, which then it's like, anybody that would have an issue, and maybe they have found out now it was just a fluke accident, I don't know, since reading the original article, but, I mean, it's not the first time there's been situations like that happening, you know? It's like, I don't know. So sad to me. But then it's like this is what I was going to say, on the other hand, it's like, on the one hand, it's like I don't get it, but on the other hand, it's like I read all this true crime, you know? And, you know, there are people out there that are just purely evil. I was watching that Mayor of Easttown, which there's something very Fargo-ish about that to me. With Frances McDormand, I love that movie, but I was sitting there watching it and I was thinking to myself, like, and then there's a lot of people out there that are not purely evil. They're just kind of crappy people that make really poor choices, you know? And I'm not defending them. I mean, it's a fictional story, obviously. I'm not defending them or condoning it. But I think there's just a lot of, like, situations that are, like, that happen where it's not like, they're just crappy people that have gotten themselves into really bad situations and made really horrible choices, you know, that then they go on to do these extreme acts of violence and hurt and kill people. And it's like, but it's kind of to some degree like their life unfolded into that direction of where they ended up where they're at, you know, and then they're at this life-defining moment of taking somebody's life or having taken somebody's life or whatever, and it's just like, I think that's the hard thing about watching Mayor of Easttown too, because everything that unfolds, like, could happen. Like, it's not just this, it's not a zombie story, it's not a story about a plane that goes missing for 5.5 years like Manifest. I mean, it could really happen, you know? Now it's cold in here. Oh, I need to call my sponsor tomorrow. Oh. Film videos. I have a recovery commitment at 2 o'clock. And then clean up around the house a little bit. I need to, like, start putting some stuff away in the kitchen. I've got, like, all of this stuff just, like, sitting out that I need to put away. Like, I think I was just saying this last night, like those mason jars and the Starbucks cups and stuff. And it's like, okay, I've got to find a place to put all this stuff. Which, if I cleaned out some of these cabinets, I would have. Oh. Tucker's little tummy was upset today. And, so I made him some chicken and rice. He's so cute. Like, these dogs are so funny. Have you ever made your dog chicken and rice? Whenever I think about chicken and rice, I always think of that book. It's called, like, Betty and the Octopus or something. Do you guys know what book I'm talking about? Or Lucille and the Octopus. It was about a dog that has cancer. And the owner calls the cancer, because it's like this tumor or something. He calls it the octopus. But anyway, Lily and the Octopus. If you guys have never read, well, first of all, The Art of Racing in the Rain is probably one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. The movie, not so much. I was not that impressed with the movie. I thought it was a bad version of the book and left out some of the best parts. But anyway, not even really left them out, just kind of muted them or dumbed them down a little bit. But The Art of Racing in the Rain, I think it's by that Gareth Williams or somebody like that. Anyway, that is like one of my all-time favorite books. It was so fantastically done, so well written, so just endearing, and ends on kind of a positive note, a hopeful note. And Lily and the Octopus was really good too. Not as good as Art of Racing, not as good as The Art of Racing in the Rain, but still very, very good in its own right. And he talks in there about how excited Lily gets when she gets chicken and rice. And Lil Tucker was so cute today. He could smell it in the microwave when I was heating up the chicken. But then I like have these 2 little cups of white rice. Like, what's that rice called? I can't remember, but anyway. I like heat it up in the microwave and I put it on a plate and I mixed in the chicken, but it was still kind of just on top. He went in there and just ate the chicken and like hardly ate any of the rice, and then the rice was all over the floor and I had to clean all that up. They're so funny. Boo Radley looked like he put on a little bit of weight when he was at the kennel. He ate all of his dinner tonight like a good little boy. They are 2 of the sweetest dogs. They are just so gentle and sweet. A bunch of cars coming around here over the bridge. What are they building right there? It's like a boat storage. It looks like they're building it into something. Here's this little truck stop, kind of like diner place, that bait shop that people come before they put their boats out on the water, and that thing is going at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It always reminds me of some movie like that show with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, like True Detective. Do you remember that? Did they ever come out? Oh, no. When's the last one they came out with? A year and a half ago? I wonder when the next one is. I'd like to see that again. That's such a great show. If you've never seen True Detective, all 3 seasons are really, really good. So you should check it out. Anyway, you guys, listen, I think I'm going to get off here now because I'm really getting tired and I want to listen to a little bit of my audiobook before I go home and go to sleep. So I'm going to get off here now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. Oh my God, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. The start to your weekend, the start to my weekend, the start to our weekend. And I hope that you are having a magically amazing Friday and a magically amazing beginning to your weekend. I hope you have exciting plans for this weekend, or that you're just going to relax like I am, which will be awfully nice and it'll be amazing. And I got to figure out what I want to do for my birthday next week. It's on Tuesday and I haven't figured out yet what I want to do. So anyway, I love you guys so much and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Be kind to one another. I love you. Bye. I love you. Bye. Love ya. And for anybody out there that wants to or needs to hear this, one more I love you. I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.